head coach of UCLA football, Jim Mora, back on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Coach?
Good, Rich. Good morning. How are you?
I am doing well. How do you think Mariota is going to translate to the next level?
Rich, I think he's going to be phenomenal. I think he has everything that you're looking for to be a great NFL quarterback. He's big, he's fast, he's physical, he's incredibly smart, he makes great decisions. He's an amazing competitor. He's one of my favorite players of all time. I've competed against him now only twice, but I've watched him a lot. And he's about as classy a person as you'll ever find. I mean, he's the kind of guy you want representing your franchise. And I think that he has everything you want to be great at the next level. You know, I've heard people sometimes question his arm strength maybe. I think that's there's no doubt in my mind that he's got the arm to play at the next level. And one of the things that I appreciate most is the type of sportsmanship that he plays with. I mean, he doesn't talk any crap. He's all about the team. He's a winner. This guy's big time now. I mean, obviously he's big time. What an understatement. He just won the Heisman, but it's so well deserved, and he's going to be a great, great, great pro player. And I want him out of the Pac-12. So go to the NFL, Marcus.
I think he's coming. Tony Dungy on the Dan Patrick Show used Aaron Rodgers as a comp. Would you agree with that?
He's bigger than Aaron, and he's more physical, and he's faster than Aaron. But in terms of the type of person he is and the type of intelligence that he plays the game with and the accuracy he throws with, I would absolutely agree with that. But Marcus is a bigger, faster, stronger Aaron. Now, who knows if he's going to have Aaron's success at the next level,
sure,
because that guy's something else. But, yeah, I'd say that's a very good comparison. Like, their demeanor is very much the same. They're always in control during the game. And, you know, that's one of the things I respect the most about Marcus is just his demeanor on the field. He's hard not to love. He really is.
Jim Mora, the head coach of UCLA football, joining me here on the show, former coach of the Seahawks and Atlanta Falcons in the National Football League. Mike Pereira said a few weeks ago, after you appeared, Jim, that you were the only coach to call him during halftime of a game about a call when he was the head of NFL refs. So you're the perfect person to ask this to now that Jim Harbaugh is eliminated, the 49ers are out, and one of the more crucial aspects of the game that caused them to be out was a roughing the passer penalty that Dean Blandino, Mike Pereira's successor, once removed, has already admitted is a mistake. What can you do as an NFL head coach when you're on the other end of that phone line?
Grind your teeth. I mean, it's awful. It's a horrible feeling, you know. But, you know, I think Harbaugh handles those things very well, and I think he's smart in the way that he approaches it. And I think if you look at that call objectively, you know, that call didn't lose in the game. And they still only scored 7 points against a great Seattle defense. So, you know, Seattle would have kicked a field goal there. It would have been, 10-7, so they still didn't win. So, but it's very frustrating. I think the problem is if you start to fixate on that one call and you ignore all the other things that happened in the game that maybe influenced the game just as strongly as that one call, then you do yourself and your team a real disservice. I think if you start to allow that to become an excuse for why you lost, you do your team a real disservice. And I think that, you know, Jim Harbaugh does a great job of focusing on what's important and getting his team to the next game, not placing blame on officials, things like that. I think he's really good at that. But I can tell you, inside, it's killing him. It's eating him up. And I'm sure that he and Dean Blandino had a very strong conversation this morning.
Jim Mora of UCLA joining me here right now. And again, you're the perfect person to ask this as well, because I've been pounding the drums here for as I say, for Jimmy to come home, me as a University of Michigan Wolverine, and we need a head coach, and we certainly need one like him with his pedigree and what he means, what it would mean for him to be there. And everything's working so well for you at UCLA, Jim. So, but a lot of people think that Harbaugh would want to just stay at the pros and that going back to college is not something that he would want to do. What might those things be at the collegiate level after being successful at the professional level that he might not want to go back to, Jim?
Recruiting.
Yeah.
I would say if there's one thing, it's recruiting. And then, you know, I'm not in Jim's head, so I don't know.
Sure.
But, you know, he's gotten so close to winning the Super Bowl, and he's been in the Super Bowl. He's been in the NFC Championship game. And maybe somewhere in there he feels like in order for him to achieve his personal goals, he needs to win a Super Bowl. Like I said, I don't know that. I'm not in his head. I know him a little bit. He's never told me that. I think if there's one element of the job that maybe would discourage someone from coming back to college football from the NFL, though, it's recruiting. It can be a bit of a grind. Now, I enjoy it. I love it. I enjoy getting to know the families. I enjoy coaching this age group. I enjoy the college atmosphere. I don't mind recruiting. Heck, I've seen in the last 11 days, I've been in 14 homes in 7 states.
No kidding.
And so there's a grind to it. But I don't know. A prestigious school like Michigan, the chance to build that program back, having distinguished alums like Rich Eisen. I don't know what's not to love.
Thank you, Jim. I'm trying to make this as attractive an idea for him as possible because, again, we don't know what's going on in his head, and you hear all sorts of things about the opportunities that may come his way in a couple weeks now that the Niners have been eliminated. But that's what I hear, too, from Mariucci as well, who went from Cal to the pros, that the recruiting trail for somebody who's been at the professional level would be difficult to go back to.
Yeah, but I enjoy it. Maybe I'm different than those guys. I'm at the point in my life where I would rather deal with moms and dads than wives and agents. Okay? So for me, it's a good thing.
Jim Mora, the head coach of UCLA football. What did you say, 14? What were those numbers?
14. I've been in 14 homes in 11 days in 7 states.
Where are you now?
I'm at home finally. They call it dead period now. The recruiting period ended at midnight last night. So now we have a month where we can't go out and recruit. So it's not what everyone thinks, and especially for a head coach, it's actually they limit you very much. So it's not as much of a grind as you think. Now for an assistant coach, it's tough, but I'm taking I'm resting here. I'm trying to recover. We start our bowl prep tomorrow.
And how's that going?
Well, I don't know. We haven't started, Rich. We'll start tomorrow.
There you go. See, you ask a question, you get an answer like that.
There you go.
Well, speaking of, you said assistant coaches can take the grind off of a head coach in recruiting, but at the professional level, Aaron Kromer, the offensive coordinator in Chicago.
Yeah.
How Mark Trestman, according to Ian Rappaport, thought of firing Aaron Kromer and didn't. What can a head coach do when presented with an offensive coordinator who speaks unvarnished to a member of the media about your franchise quarterback, as he did?
Well, I don't think you can find a more difficult situation. I don't know how you recover from that one. When you break the trust of your players, everything's gone. I just really believe that, and that's not necessarily specific to Aaron's situation. I think that's just in general. And you have to realize that there's no off the record with the media. There's just no off the record. And I was in the media for 2 years, and I've coached for a long time. So I've been on both sides. And if you say something that's controversial, if you say something that's newsworthy, they're going to find a way to weave it in and get it out. And it's going to come back and it's going to get you. And, I don't know what Trestman does here, but I don't know how you recover from that. I think once the trust is broken in an NFL locker room, it's gone forever. It's different in college. I think in college you can win it back. But in the NFL, I think when it's broken, it's gone forever. Those are men you're dealing with. They're proud. They're protecting their profession, their ability to earn a living, and they're very unforgiving. So there's tough decisions to be made there.
Well, Jim, thanks for calling in. I know it's a dead period for you, but for your dad on this program, the dead period is award season around here. So we're going to start putting your dad to work to tell us who's going to win Golden Globes and Oscars. He's very good at that.
Well, he's seen everything. We know that. He's seen every movie there is. So he'll be ready to go.
Okay, good. So enjoy your downtime, and we'll chat with you next week. I look forward to it.
Okay, Rich. You have a great day.
You bet. That is Jim Mora.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.